Hey, it's Orion here with a book in the Bilge. I want to read a snippet from this book about the environmental impact we as people have made on the Hudson River, because we've all used this river over time for trade. As people have industrialized, we've used more chemicals and products, and everything goes from somewhere to somewhere. And that matters for how we live our lives and how that affects the environment and ourselves. So, New York City was made out of bricks and cement that had come from the banks of the Hudson. The river, which had fed all these dreams, was now fading into the background. New York didn't seem to need the river anymore, except as a sewer, and that's what it became. Industry on the river had made some New Yorkers filthy rich, but it just made the river filthy. Garbage, factory waste, plant chemicals, and the raw sewage of the cities and towns along its banks were dumped directly into the river. The water turned greenish-brown, except by the GM plant, where it turned red or yellow, or whatever color they were painting the cars that day. The fishing industry collapsed. The few fish that survived were too poisonous to eat. Smog from factory smoke and dust from the cement plants blanketed the valley, and it was all legal, allowed by the law. Most people don't start out with dreams of polluting a river, but it was often the result of people chasing their dreams of wealth with little care of how they reached it. Hudson Valley had always drawn such people, but now there were other dreamers in the valley with their own dreams of wealth. They dreamed of wealth, of wildlife in a healthy forest, the abundance of fish in an oxygen-rich waterway, and the great fortune of living in a beautiful river valley. So perhaps it is a matter of time before the two types of dreamers would meet each other in court. In 1963, Con Edison, New York City's power company, proposed a plan for construction of the largest hydroelectric pumping station ever built. The plan called for carving out a gigantic hole in the side of majestic Storm King Mountain on the Hudson. But then they met Franny Reese. Franny was a longtime valley resident with a simple point to make. The mountain could not speak for itself. If she didn't speak for it, who would? Franny and a group of like-minded people founded Scenic Hudson and took on the power company in a landmark court case. Con Ed challenged the right of private citizens to participate, but the court sided with the citizens in a ruling now known as the Scenic Hudson decision. After dragging out the case for 17 years, Con Ed finally gave up and Storm King survived, unblemished. It was the beginning of the environmental movement in this country, and once again, the Hudson Valley was the birthplace. More and more people joined the movement as they realized how much difference each of us can make in the world. The love of their land was still alive in the hearts of Americans, and now that it was aroused again, things began to change for the better. So that's taken out of this book, River of Dreams by Hudson Talbott, the story of the Hudson River. It's got a lot of great little facts that you may have learned about this area in it. It's a great book, lovely pictures, it's fun to read. One thing to know is that Scenic Hudson is an organization around today, and they actually have a lot of hikes down the river on both sides you can bring your family to and go for a hike. I went yesterday and it was gorgeous. It's got a great view of the river, so get outside, learn about the land, learn about the river. Thanks.